still no official confirmation either from prison officials as well as Jeffrey Epstein's defense attorneys. And of course, questions will certainly be circulating, if indeed this is, of course, verified, is what exactly transpired and how this was allowed to occur, considering the fact that just several weeks ago, a week after a request for bail for Mr. Epstein was denied, he was found unconscious in his prison cell with marks on his neck that prison officials were looking into and investigating for a apparent or suspected suicide attempt. So plenty of questions on that particular case. But as you so rightly say, we're still awaiting official word from the prison officials as well as the legal side as well. Yeah, there seem to be so many people speaking on condition of anonymity. The fire department saying it received a call at 6:39 a.m. Saturday morning that Epstein was in cardiac arrest, that he was then pronounced dead at the New York Presbyterian Lower Manhattan Hospital. This guy faced up to 45 years in prison if he had been convicted of these charges that he was facing. Run us through some of those charges. Absolutely, and these were charges that have been developing, and we've been gaining more and more information about these alleged charges. Of course, Mr. Epstein did plead not guilty last month, but some of these charges range from sex trafficking with girls, having girls performing sex acts, some allegedly as young as 14, both at his mansion here in Manhattan in the Upper East Side, as well as his Florida home as well. And there was a cache of documents that were released just a week or so, or just a couple of days ago, really, that really shed further light on these allegations that Mr. Epstein faces, some regarding an alleged victim who described being a sex slave. There are accounts that he used the phrase massage as code for sex. And this all comes as there have been, according to prosecutors, a cache of documents as well and images of young girls coming through as well. So prosecution and the prosecutors were very much building a case of a hugely extensive sex trafficking business that was conducted over a number of years involving girls, involving teenage girls, and allegations that some were even given gifts like iPods after performing these sex acts or alleged massages. William, all of those people who had previously been connected with Epstein, they have slowly but surely been distancing themselves from him. We've just seen pictures of Epstein standing next to President Donald Trump before Trump became president. Prince Andrew, a member of the British royal family, supposed to have been a good friend of his. This just being a friend or knowing Epstein had become a huge embarrassment for so many famous people. Who are the other names apart from Donald Trump, Prince Andrew? Indeed, do we even know how close Donald Trump really was to Jeffrey Epstein? Well, there are plenty of names in various different circles, of course. Let's not forget that he was an incredibly prominent figure on the Florida scene for a number of years, and this comes amazingly as well, just not only before these scandals came to light and before he issued a plea deal, well, before a plea deal was reached back around 13 years or so ago, when he was found, when he reached a plea and agreed essentially to spend 13 months behind bars and to register as a sex offender. But even so, he still had a huge reputation of being a billionaire financier, and was still seen as a hugely prominent figurehead in the Florida community, and as well as some of the highest echelons. And there are a number of names in a number of different circles, like of Stephen Hawking even being banned in some of these reports of having, being in somewhat of the same association. So that's kind of the huge different scope of some of the people that he's been associated with. But you mentioned President Trump, of course. In recent days, President Trump has very much distanced himself, saying that in Florida, everyone knew him and that he wasn't a fan. He didn't spend much time with him. But of course, there are media reports and interviews with President Trump going back over a decade where he said that he liked his company. There's video to show them at parties together. Even an interview where President Trump is quoted as saying that Mr. Epstein likes women almost as much as he does.